Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2026 Mario Kart Wii World Cup. We have an absolute heater of a match today between US North and US South, and we're not going to waste any time, and we're just going to get straight into the lineups, starting with US North. Um, they have a pretty good lineup. I think on paper, US North is actually the most stacked team in the entire tournament, being the only team with a full Grandmaster lineup. And actually, 6 out of their 9 runners on the team have all hit Grandmaster in the past, meaning they have quite a lot of depth. However, I think the current lineup they're using for today is probably their strongest lineup, and that is Brody, Fresh, Frozen, Mura, and Kaizo. Um, Getting more into the players, Brody is arguably the best player in the game right now, and I mean the plays he makes, like he can pretty much do everything. So definitely someone to keep your eye out for in this match. Fresh has gotten insanely good in just the last year or so, coming from pretty much nowhere and hitting Grandmaster and Lounge, winning Division One and MVPing Division One multiple times as well. And it's just overall like a really solid player. And I mean, this guy can do anything. So he's also really hard to hit. So maybe he'll be more of their frontal presence. Um, both Frozen and Mura are former number 1 ranked players, so they've also been at the top and are only recently getting back into competing. They both haven't really played too actively over the last year or so, but they both came back to the game for the last couple GSC seasons, and they're still getting back into the groove of things. Um, they might be a little inconsistent, but I think what they're going to bring to the table today might be the key to US North's success. They just came off of a win versus Australia yesterday, winning it pretty handily. And Mura actually ended up MVPing that match with like over 110 or something like that. So pretty massive score from him. And then for the bagger, they have Kaizo. And definitely don't sleep on him. I think normally US North opts to run Krusty, and they did in US North's match, their match yesterday. But Kaizo is just as good. This guy is really insane. I think he's playing D1 this next season, so um, look out for him to pull a lot of shocks this match. I think the bagging battle will be close, but I think Kaizo might have the edge, just because the US South's bagger hasn't really been playing recently. Um, Pretty much all of the players in this lineup have played with each other outside of the World Cup, whether that's in like JX or Lover's Posture. Uh, and this team actually did win the World Cup back in 2021. Their lineup was a little bit different, to be fair, actually drastically different. But I would argue that this lineup here is actually stronger than the one they won the World Cup with back in 2021. So, do you have anything to add, Zesty, about US North's lineup? Or
No, I don't think so. I think you got everything, like, like everything. The Grandmaster point, I am a huge advocate. I've always been. I think people who have heard me cast, I always bring up Mogi ranks. Maybe at the highest level, it doesn't matter that much, but yeah, these are some of the best players in the game. And as we switch over to this US South lineup, you're gonna see, I think, one of the more surprising lineups you will see US South run in the entire tournament, and it's against US North. Like, this is not a lineup I would have ever expected in any match, not even a scrim match. Like, you'll always see Macy, you should almost always see Casper or Chewan. Neither of them are here. So they're two captains, the two people I would say called shocks, like do a lot of those sort of plays. They're not here. So Javo's actually stepped in. I don't know if Ken is part of this main lineup either. I don't even know what their lineup would look like if Macy and Casper were available, but neither of them are here. And yeah, I have a lot of things to say about this lineup. Firstly, who is going to be calling all the shots? Who's going to be calling all the pals? You would think it's probably Havo. Havo's, a notorious vet of this game, a CSL D1 MVP, as everyone knows, but he really hasn't been on anything recently. I think KJ are going to sign up again. He's going to be a huge part of that. But in terms of the top D1 experience, he doesn't have that in recent years. And you could maybe say that about everyone in this lineup. Quinn, Quinn's an interesting one because Quinn had a very, very good season with Team Leops, which is funny because like, the team's named after Leops. He didn't really play. This was really Team Quinn. Quinn was a MVP candidate if he played enough matches. I think he was like top 3 if you count his in the matches that he did play, but I don't know if he'll strive in a lineup like this where you don't have someone like Macy or TK who are making the plays that when you look at this lineup, I don't really see someone who's gonna be doing the dirty work, I guess you could say. I would say the best player in this lineup is actually Gizro, up and coming Geometry Dash player. You already know he has goated mechanics, so we're gonna have to look for Gizro in this matchup. If you're gonna see a US South player consistently be up there, it's gonna be Gizro in my opinion. So if he doesn't have a huge score, I really don't see this team having enough firepower. So I guess the last runner we can talk about is Ken. Really just comes out of nowhere for these tournaments or just in GSC in general. You just see him sign up with VC or some random team, and he's always just a consistently good player. But is he going to be good enough to really have that Ken impact in a game against some of the best players in the world? That's where I'm a little doubtful. The only thing, the only saving grace, I'm saying it as if US South are going to get blown out. I don't think that's going to be the case, no matter what sort of lineup they put out. But Sam, I think, is still the best bagger in the game. I know you said he's rusty. I know you said Kaizo might have the advantage just because of reps, but Sam against anyone, I give the advantage to Sam. And they have good shot callers. Quinn calls shocks, Java calls shocks. Gizbro and Ken, obviously, they're D1 players. They can call shocks, but yeah, if US South need to win the shot count, in my opinion, to have a chance in this match, and Sam gives them the best chance out of anyone in this game, maybe in the history of this game. So he's that good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I would say US North are the favorites, especially with no Macy. I know a lot of people don't rate Macy that highly, but obviously we know what this team was capable of in 2023. I think we actually have the tables from those matches. They actually played in a best of three, and you could see that these lineups have both changed so much. Like, look at this South lineup. None of the four runners are even on the team anymore, or in this lineup anymore, except for Sam. Even for North, Brody's the only player who survived this kind of shift from a more Superbia-based lineup to a more JX slash sort of lineup. And I think it's an upgrade for US North, but not an upgrade for US South, especially when you look at the lineup they put out today. So this could be a blowout like this, but this is only match one. And I think we have matches two and three where we see that South actually came back and got to finals over US North. There's another match where I believe it was Macy and Badkick who went crazy in that one too. So I'm hoping to see a close match, a match just like this, but I don't know. I just think US North has too much this year. The difference in skill between these lineups, especially with the lineups that have been put out today, it might be the most we've seen in the last couple of years. So people know me, I'm pretty pessimistic about a lot of things, but I'm really hoping this Civil War is going to be one of the best we've seen.
Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Both of these lineups have changed so drastically. I was actually talking with Macy earlier today, and they don't even really have a main lineup. I think they just have so much depth and um, between the players that they can kind of just throw at anybody. I know they used like Ivan in their match earlier, and I know they used, I think it was Casper. I know Casper and Macy aren't able to play this match, but I definitely wouldn't doubt the rest of their team. Um, it'll definitely be interesting to see how this plays out. If you had to pick between one of the two teams to win, though, who do you think's got this match?
If I had to put my Mario Kart Central points on it, I'd put everything. I'd going all in on US North. I just think the quality there is too much. Brody is in his prime, Fresh is in his prime, and Frozen is getting back into the swing of things. He just won a tournament with a lot of good teams in it, and I mean, Mura just kills these sort of teams where he has the skill advantage, I feel like. So this could be another Mura 120 bomb where we've seen those over the years as we get started on Sherverland.
Yeah, and Frozen is already side redded out of first. It did pick US South's track. North were starting in 1-3. Um, both of our POVs kind of in bottom two here. Frozen gets triple shrooms. Just going to try and get up there. There's not really much else to do on Sherbet Land here. And we do see South occupying 1-3 at the moment.
Yeah, I know first isn't that huge on this track, but it's just nice as the team that picks in 2-4 to just have one of your guys get up there. It just feels like, okay, now we're in it. We touch first, like now we can actually start playing. We can play our game. We didn't let Frozen just run in first, which can sometimes happen, very rarely, but it's nice to see they avoided this. But we see an early shot from Team North.
Yeah, and Kaizo is way in 10th, so you know they're not going to hesitate. They're just going to call that early shock. And we actually see a 1-3, but Ken is shrooming up, so he is in second. Kaizo's still way in 10th, though, so they could definitely pull a second one. Looks like it's a top two with Brody goldening up, though.
Yeah, and this is exactly the difference I see in the teams. I don't think South is calling that sort of shot. Frozen is a very risk-taking shot caller, and you just saw it there. He knew he had the advantage. His bagger has the huge advantage, and called the early one, got into first, and Brody's up there too. I mean, if like I said, if Sam doesn't get the shocks, then this could spell disaster early. Because I mean, we see this is Ken holding a star. I don't think he can hold it much longer. Yeah, he has to go. Javo's going too. They need Goldens. If they had double pair of Goldens, maybe you have a chance in this race. But if Kaizo's holding on to Shock safe, I don't really see a way back. You need blues. You need
Yeah,
a really good PAL.
I think the fact that no shot came there pretty much just speaks to North holding it. We do see South in 2-3 at the moment, with Frozen occupying first. He's going to try and land some backs. 1-4 for North right now. Maybe we could see a late shock, but it doesn't look like either of the baggers have it at the moment, actually. Sorry, I was incorrect. That's a North shock incoming there. Ken's going to run this TC to the line, but he's not going to be able to catch up. We did see Mura dodge, so it's going to be a 1-4-5 for North at the very least here.
That's honestly, I always say this after every race. If you can get 2-3 on Sugarland or those sort of middling races when you don't have shock. I mean, US North got two shocks. They should be kind of disappointed that that was the only sort of race they can muster up. 1-4, two shocks. Like that's really, I think, advantage South for that race. They should feel really good about how they play that race.
For sure. I think that's just one of those risks you take when you use an early shock, you know? You're getting your top spots up there early, but that means for the rest of the race that South is just gonna be getting bottom spot boxes. So that second shock that North pulled didn't really do much other than dodging Mura up like 2 spots. Whereas if they were in the back chaining for dodges all race, you know, maybe they dodge up and get like a top 3 or something like that. Um, but what Zesti said is, you know, Frozen's not afraid to make those like split second decisions, and we'll see a lot of those. I think we'll see a lot of those like early shocks, to be honest, in these wars. Just both teams and both teams just not afraid to pull the trigger on it. But yeah, if you're South, you are extremely happy with a -3 race when the other team's getting 2 shocks against you on RSL.
Yeah,
Um,
like that. Two shocks on RSL should be at least a +5 or something like that, and only getting +3. Maybe you do look back at that early shot con and think, was that the right call? Because Frozen got up there and Brody did shroom up to get into top two. I don't know what happened to him because we were looking at Ken in the back. Another thing that happened was when Mura sat to eighth, like in the middle set, or I believe second set, lap two or lap three, he was in eighth, like dead eighth. So when he eventually dodged, he only got up to fourth. So he's had a long time. I saw him on the mini map. It looked like he was dead eighth. Like he had a dodge safe, and Mura, I feel like is one of those safer players. He's gonna hold that star and guarantee himself like a fourth place, which he eventually did. But maybe he stopped a little too long. I don't know what the reason was for him stopping that much. But Moonview Highway, JX in top two, early backs. Like this is exactly what we see from JX on a week to week basis, on a season to season basis. And look at this. This
yeah,
is
North are
top
top
four.
4. Very
Like
good
how did they
draft in
do it?
1-4 and then the back fib. So
Yeah, I
uh,
guess that's all it takes.
And Frozen is pretty much the only player you want to be in fourth here. You know he's not afraid to cycle those boxes. He's going to be trying to schlag, hit out those South players, get
This
his
is
team
a
a break.
potential montage lap from Frozen. I can feel it.
Yes, for sure. Especially with that red. Securing a North's breakaway. Ken does golden up, but you need more than goldens at
He's
this point. And
backfibbed. He's backfibbed.
yeah, Fresh actually landing a very good fib there. Frozen with some more greens.
He's gonna be playing countdown this lap, so may as well count the hits. Like he's pretty much unstoppable in these positions. Like he knows the game so well, and obviously South are panicking here, so they can't really pay attention to dodging these and trying to catch up at the same time. There's another one. That's three in this lap already.
Yeah, and Frozen's not even afraid to pull a TC here, really, because he's just going to use it to schlag those South players
Yeah,
even further away. But we do see a South shock coming out. Uh, Ken dodging in the Mega and Havo dodging in the Bill, so they're probably going to get into top 2, I would have to imagine. Um,
they have to space. They have to coordinate this properly. Can he get into first? This is a huge play. Brody stays first. That's really big for his team, and he gets the box here. Yeah. Wow. The box spawns perfectly for him, and he takes out Ken.
South are still 2-3-4 though. I think they were kind of hoping to chain a blue there. Brody was a little bit further ahead than I thought. but it doesn't look like anything's gonna come of it. Maybe Ken can make a bomb
Back
play
bomb,
here.
yes. Wow. Okay, South are showing some fight here, and that's the Sam difference, right? I mean, obviously any bagger is capable of pulling shotgun movie high, but when his team needed a bailout, look who's there. Sam, I think, is going to be the MVP if South have any chance in this, and you just saw it there. That race was disastrous from the first 5 seconds. That looked like GG's from that opening. It was so horrific for South, but Javo gets Bill. I don't know when he pulled that Bill. Maybe he got it early, which, I mean, you don't really need a good bagger to know what to do when you get Bill that early in a race. But yeah, Sam doing his job and the team doing their job, just not getting killed enough to the point where that shock doesn't get them into the top spots.
Yeah, I mean, North were pretty much broken away. They were top 4 break. I think North played that about as best as they could, to be honest. I think they landed every single back spam for like the first 2 laps, which is just
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Very good coordination from them. But yeah, like Zesti said, Sam pulling the shock, dodging, I think it was 2 or 3 of South all the way up into the top spots, getting 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually putting them in the lead for this match. I mean, it's only been 2 races, but um, just like Zesty said, like Sam is going to be that catalyst for this team. And it's always nice having a bagger you can rely on. You know, like, oh, we need to
Yeah.
get bailed out this race. Like let's point to Sam. Like if you want to get bailed out by anybody, like you want it to be Sam, right? So
Yeah, for
uh,
sure. The one critique I'd have over that race is we saw after they dodged how Ken and Havo were like they didn't know who was in second there. I think a more aggressive player, like if that was Macy or Casper, would say, "Let me in second as the person with two shrooms, so I can like get into first." Because they lost a lot of time just hopping around, making sure that they don't bump each other in the cars. But
mhm,
if Ken from the beginning is like, "I have shrooms, like let me go in front, make sure I can get a clear run at Brody." But because he had to go wide, he had to hop around, he couldn't get into first, and he gets backflip as a result, which didn't matter, but it could have really mattered.
for sure, yeah. And uh, speaking about the shock a little bit more, the shock is super important on this track. This is a cannon track, so whoever pulls it here is almost guaranteed to get a winning race, I would say. Ken gets an early red out on Murrah. I think that's really good. I think Murrah had like a 7th or 8th place box. And this bomb could be huge too, if he could land a back bomb, but it doesn't look like he's able to. Brody's still holding on to first, it seems. Or sorry, Brody's in second. Jizbro is in first.
I'm a little confused why he didn't bomb earlier because I think he knew that he wasn't gonna get frozen, but for when I'm in that situation, I'm trying to think like the person behind is Fresh. I don't think Fresh would have avoided it if he insta backed, but when he held it, he just went exactly like he only went for Frozen, who was too close to him, and he kind of wasted a really good opportunity there. And look what's happening as a result. Frozen up here in second place, and
Yeah.
Fresh is probably holding a good item. There's a fib from lap one. That's a really bad miscom from Team Salad. Surely someone knew about that.
Yeah, maybe backed in a bottom spot from one of the North members. It's
Hmm.
always a possibility. But yeah, Frozen pretty much played that perfectly, driving super well, right on Jizbro's tail, just for him to hit the fib. Ken doing a little bit of schlagging, misses the box. Um, Looks like they're most of the mid pack right now. One of the baggers does have the shock. I wasn't able to see who, uh, but it's a top 2 for North right now. And this mega could be massive.
Yeah, we're gonna learn who has shock based on how he uses this mega, or if he uses it at all. Maybe if South has it, maybe they try and can shock him, but based on his position, I think he's gonna be dodging one way or another, whether it's his team or another. Let's see, it's a wait from Frozen, so it has to be a South shock. South has it, there's a blue!
And everybody
Oh
is
my
cooked.
god, and see,
We have a
that's
mega in
exactly the
first.
Frozen sort of play. Like Frozen called that blue, I'm sure. Or like I don't know.
Someone would have
Yeah, he
had to call the
definitely
blue for
called it. Yeah,
Frozen,
he
right?
definitely called it. Mega in play, lots of megas in play. Here's a shock. It's gonna be a South shock.
Yeah, 2 Dodgers for South there. Quinn in a star and Ken in a mega. So they're top 2 right now. Um, but it looks like they're also bottom 2. So Frozen
Yeah,
just doing some
Frozen.
schlagging.
Yeah, Frozen knows that this race is already lost. Just try and get them the worst race possible. Top two, bottom two would have been what he was looking for. It looks like he's not gonna be able to do that. But South
Yeah,
again, another strong race from them, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, a little bit, almost like I would argue a little bit messy almost from both
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
with that blue lap 3. Um, I would imagine Frozen's in first, so someone must have called it out for him, and then he sits out of cannon, or the guy who goes into cannon first ends up sitting and just catches everybody in the blue, to be honest. I think he caught 2 of US North's members in the blue with him. Uh, so definitely I would take that trade. I mean, if it's a 1v2 at the front of the pack and you can take out 2 of them, I would take that trade every day, especially if you have the shock.
Yeah, for sure. I just I'm a little confused with that blue play. I think Frozen definitely called it, and he was scared that maybe if they do shock, they're gonna lose the blue. So may as well use it rather than lose it. But instead, I don't know how many players of North got taken out. I feel like 2 of them got taken out, and only Havo got taken out from South. So it was a net negative play. But you again, it's one of those plays that only Frozen is really making in the game right now. And one thing I didn't mention in the preview is Frozen, as good of a player, like we've seen some of the plays he's making already, a lot of them positive plays, but he's gonna have some plays where you just scratch your head and you look back at it after the race and you're like, that just wasn't the call. And maybe he does that too much in a war like this, especially if things do start to get more desperate. Maybe you see him going for plays where like maybe he goes for a plus 15 race instead of a plus 5 and they end up losing that race. So I think he's really prone to that compared to most other D1 players. So maybe that
For
was an
sure.
example of that.
Yeah, and we do see a US South track pick here. They're starting in top 2, as well as bottom 2, so they can, or sorry, as well as 8th, so they can get a boxer up on the left. And Ken's just gonna try his best to hold on to first here. There's not much you can do other than just drive.
Yeah,
So
just don't give up any drafts, and it looks like they've succeeded in doing that. No backs early, no snipes early too. Frozen on our other PvP got a golden in 10th place, and he's gonna be up here.
yeah, breaking into first just barely. South in 2-3. Sam, a little bit in
Oh,
10th. uh, it is them both actually. Very
and
good
doesn't get ready
mana.
for it. Wow.
Wow, yeah, a little bit laggy there, but I mean, if you're frozen, you're gonna take that every single day.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the saving grace here for this team right now in this race. Fresh with TC, he's gonna cause a lot of havoc here. Is he gonna get a pass off? No.
yeah, and I mean, even though Fresh wasn't able to pass it, like he was able to get Frozen a little bit of a lead. Frozen's about 1 or 2 seconds ahead now, and South are trailing just behind with 2, 3, 4, 5 actually. North are bottom 3 by a mile. So if Sam can pull this shock, maybe a TS lap 3 gets them like a top 4 or something like that.
Yeah, this
Um,
is a really good position here. You can pull pals, you can pull blues. You have 4, 5. Obviously, they also have 6, 7. Team North. So if they're not catching up, then you have to assume that maybe they're holding blue in one of those back spots, and maybe you stop chaining. But that's such a hard read to make, and we see Frozen just he's taking out the whole team by himself. This is if North get even a even race here, it's all because of Frozen.
Yeah, I mean, he's landed a couple backs. Murrah was able to catch up completely back into the pack and actually backbomb Ken. So it's a 1-4 for North right now. And it almost seems like South are just chaining for that blue at this point, with Ken going for that wide box.
Someone's off in first. I don't know if Frozen just fell off in first, but someone, I feel like someone fell off. Maybe it was a bagger. The fact we haven't seen a shock, I feel like South is gonna use it. No, yeah, Frozen's not in first anymore. There's the blue. Oh, top 2? Like what?
Yeah, I guess.
What?
So Frozen end up falling off in first and pulling a mega in fourth directly afterwards. US North were holding the blue, so they were able to blue South out, and then Frozen was able to dodge up on the line, securing a top 2. Um,
I
I
mean,
don't know how Frozen fell off. He had an ad on his stream, so we weren't able to see. But
he fell
I
off
mean,
after the TS ramp, so I think he was. I don't know what he was trying to do.
yeah, maybe just getting a little bit too crafty or something.
There is a
Um,
strat on this track. Like, if you think you're gonna get TS, you trick onto the left, and you can land on like the left rail, right, where it goes up into the sky, sort of.
mhm,
So I maybe he just fell off trying to do that strat, or he
predicting a
landed
TS
on
or
a
something.
yeah, I think so. I'm not sure because Fresh's star, I I felt like it was after Frozen had crossed the ramp, so I really have no
Yeah.
idea.
I mean,
And
it
the
was definitely a
last shot,
US North shock, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
can't imagine why Frozen would be doing that in first,
So he just
especially if they're holding
naturally
blue.
failed. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he just failed. A little bit uncharacteristic, I guess, but Also, well played from Murrah that race. I mean, US North were bottom 3 by about 3 or 4 seconds, and, Murrah was able to catch up all the way back into the top 4 pack, and then, actually ended up getting 1st place that race, uh, coming back about, like, 5-second deficit, which is pretty impressive because there's not much time save on Warriors Goldmine, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we do see US North starting top 2 for this next race. They're picking DK Summit. It does opt to pick them, uh which is really good. US North or sorry, US South need to make a quick play here. They need to get into those top spots, maybe get into first by the double, pray for some goldens at the first set. Um, yeah, I
It'll be
guess
interesting to see if Frozen does the task strat here. It seems like most teams in top two, the second place player will go for the task strat, but obviously he just didn't start fast enough. I don't know if he missed the start a little bit, but yeah, it's an instant 2-3. It's an instant first, or it should be Murrah getting taken out here, or at least he's gonna be forced to do single, like no matter what, unless he does some voodoo stuff here. But yeah, he has to go for single. He doesn't block double. This is gonna be an early top two. Quinn gets greened off though. That it could have been top three.
yeah. I mean, either way, this is still a great start for South. Top 2 4,
Look at
and the
that bottom
pack
three.
is the
Yeah,
pack is split again. Um, and I know Jizbro has a really good time on this track, so maybe he's just gonna try and get into first and just run away with it, you know. Um,
yeah.
but
It's
this is
gonna be
2 of US
interesting.
North way in the back.
How are they gonna communicate whether Ken should block double or not? I feel like he's not going to. But Murrah's right there, and Murrah's actually gonna be in first. I'm sure he's first on his screen. Oh, he gets destroyed by that fib.
Crazy snipe from Ken there. Really massive play, actually. Even though he's getting blued, US South are going to be most of the top spots. One of them actually ended up failing the double off. So,
Yeah,
um,
I think it's Gizbro. Gizbro's back there on our other POV, which if we switch
yeah,
to it, there's really nothing going on in his screen. So Ken is our prime player to watch here because Murrah still isn't second despite getting sniped out. And a shroom, this and a shock.
100% a US South shock there. Um,
Yeah,
so
this is
sampling
gonna be
another one,
Quinn.
Quinn coming up. It's going to be top 2 4 here. Blooper's a little bit of a bad pull, but if Ken can get a box here, it could completely change the race, like triple reds or a bomb or
Triple
something like
reds is
that.
so good here. Blue is good. You probably don't want to pull it because you're gonna get killed most likely, but it looks like he's going to live. The greens are not gonna hit him. Murrah up there too. Not for long. He
I
gets
think
taken out.
I think Ken just forced Murrah out. I think that's just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
clean driving from Ken and a top 3 7 for South. So they're gonna be up about 20 points now. Um, and I mean, that's basically as good as you can play it, other than Jezro falling off on the cut lap too, getting up there early, securing the shock, and then dodging pretty much none of North. I don't know if I saw a single North player dodge. Um, and just getting into that top 3. I mean, the pull from Ken there, the blue, isn't the best, but if your team is top 2, you're gonna take a blue pull pretty much every day of the week.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so very strong race from South there.
That race was completely won by Ken. Like we can't ignore that. He gets obviously it's his item luck too. He gets shroom early. He gets triple reds to make sure that Murrah can never take the cut there. And then the fib snipe really changed it because yes, he gets blued out, but Havo gets in the first, and it changes how they're gonna use the shock. They don't have to use it for Havo anymore. They can use it for Quinn in the back. I was a little surprised that they called it because it looked like maybe a single dodge. Quinn Quinn dodges a single in cannon, and I was scared that maybe they can still lose to POW. There's still a chance for blue, and it ends up not being that good of a shock. But no, I was wrong. It's a top three there, so and that's it's
Yeah.
all down to Ken though. Ken really broke that race open for them.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to what you were saying with the fib, like that fib is so massive. Holding first in a lot of these races is incredibly important. You kind of control how the race goes if you hold first because it's the most amount of points. So with Havo being in first, rather than Murrah, US North now needs to play around US South instead of South having to play around North.
Yeah,
Even with the shock, like having first is still a threat. So massive, massive plays from South there. Incredible performance from Ken, especially. And
it's
hoping
a
to see
big
more of
track
that.
pick. Big track pick for North though. It was gonna be Yoshi Falls or Delfino Square. Yoshi Falls is a very unpopular pick, so I don't know if North are that practiced up on it. Maybe even the baggers are not that practiced up on how exactly they want to drive it backwards, but it's a pretty big pick here to just reset everything. And already we're seeing that top three is disintegrated.
Yeah, I mean, South definitely doing that on purpose. You do not want to be
Yeah.
all of the top spots here. 1-4 bottom spots is pretty much perfect. I would say. I think it's going to get South back into top two actually after Ken takes this cut, or at least a close 1-3. Um, but
And look at
Fresh
the
looks like he's
bagger
goldening up.
disparity already. Like one bagger's already gone, so I'm assuming either that bagger ninth has shock or drop bill. I wasn't able to catch that, but it is Sam in 10th. And on Delfino Square, if you pull shock, it's probably one of the best tracks to have it on. Because you don't necessarily have to use it at the double set, but the double set shock is really unstoppable or close to unstoppable.
For sure, yeah. And, North, most of the top spots, that's why Mura's opting to stop Mega. They're actually top 3 break
He
right
got
now,
three of them. He got
North.
all three of them.
Oh. Well,
Someone dropped a gold into that. That's just that's gonna win them the race, I think. Unless Quinn can get up there. It's a huge shock from Sam. Whenever they need a shock to have a chance in the race, he's always got it.
yeah, and I'd actually like to point out, Kaizo not pulling the shock there, but, knowing that North are top 3, he's hitting the crate and dropping single shrooms in the cut. So even though Frozen got
Yeah.
TS'd in the cut, he was still able to take the ground shroom, and make it through the cut. So, they're not in as bad of a spot as they should be. 2-3-4 for North,
Quinn
with
just got hit
South
in
in first.
first, or who's in first? Yeah, it's Quinn. I think he's forced a shroom. He hit something. He spun out. So if he doesn't have a shroom anymore, whatever he hit is probably gonna cost him the race. But I'd assume he chained something decent when he dodged. I think it was a sixth place chain. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, an insane background there from Frozen. Ken's no longer able to take double in fifth,
Yeah.
and has to go around. So something to note there.
I don't know if we're gonna see another shock. Not from Sam. Sam just jumped off. So if there is gonna be another shock, it's gonna be from Team North. It looks like Fresh is gonna get first here. So I don't think Quinn took any cuts. I'm pretty sure he got hit lap 3 at the top of the hill and was forced to shroom, and that just cost him the race.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there was like a Nana or something from the previous lap, or maybe like a snipe from Fresh or something like that. But either way, that's a massive point swing. And US North are definitely happy to see a 1-3-4 when when US South are pulling the shock on a track like Delfino Square. Going back to lap 2, Mura with that schlag, getting all 3 of the South's highest spots and kind of just breaking his team away. That South are almost forced to just use a lap 2 shock and only getting into like 1-5 after using the
Yeah,
shock. Um,
you're so happy for North. You played that. I don't even know what you could even say about that opening, because lap 1, we were saying that South were actually in the dream spots, 1-4 with bottom 2, and it just didn't work out for them. I don't know if there was some schlagging going on in the back, or did Frozen pull a bomb lap 1? I think he did. So maybe that played a part in how they were able to get top threes, but or to get into what do they got, 1, 3, 4, 5 there. So really well played from Team North, and also Kaizo with the ground shrooms was actually really huge because Frozen hit Ken right with
yeah,
the
yeah,
back button.
he backed Ken with the green later on, like about 20 seconds later, and Ken wasn't able to take the double because of that. He had to burn his shrooms. Um, and
It's
I
really a
mean that
masterclass of a race if you look at it from North. Like very little misplays from everyone. Like that was a flow state race without shock.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of what we expect, right? Like all of these players are grandmaster. I said this before the match, like these guys are all really, really good. And kind of, I think like that chemistry, maybe like that was just a really well placed from pretty much everybody. I didn't see
Yeah,
really any mistakes there. Um, and we get another reset track. So this is definitely a South pick. Quinn's going to opt to run. These mid spots are just hoping to change shrooms, basically.
no
And
one's
throw.
taking the cut. He's waiting there and no one's taking it, which is a good thing for North. That means no triple shroomers, no goldeners. There's a bomb too from way downtown. I mean, it's a really bad start. Other than Havo is up here, so, and Ken actually, so maybe not that bad. Despite there not being any like danger spot shroomers like in 4 or 5, you're always scared that kid can just insta win the race. There wasn't any of that, and look at that, South top 2.
Yeah, the random green actually taking out one of Fresh's nanas,
Yeah.
so he backs his remaining one, thinking that he has 2 left, and it gets redded. So top 2 for South here. Hopefully Ken can pull a shroom here. That's what he's looking for. That's pretty much the only good item here, but he's not able to. And North are gonna be right back in it. They're gonna be shrooming up here. Um,
Bag battle's so close too. I
Yeah, I
think
wasn't
one of the baggers hit Chomp. Yeah, I think Sam just hit Chomp, so advantage North here. A huge advantage in this race now. If they pull Shock with these sort of mixed spots and a close pack, one star dodge just gets you guaranteed first, unless South can also dodge it.
for sure. And I think I don't know what just happened, but a couple of people getting bumped out. It looks like Frozen throwing his bomb away, not able to hit anybody. And it's still a South top two, four actually with triple shrooms.
With
Ken's
Trip
gonna try
Shrooms,
and bump
they
off
have to call
Frozen.
it. If North have it, they have to call, and there it is. It's wow, it's a double dodge. That and they both dodged the POW too. Like I don't see them losing this race. I feel like it's
Yeah,
gonna be guaranteed.
I don't even think it's possible to come back at this point. They're top three right now with a top two breakaway, pretty much. Frozen's just gonna try and keep these guys in the back if he can, but it looks like he gets shrooms, which might unironically be better considering two of
Yeah,
South have triple reds.
need a late shock 9 or a late shock 10, whatever it is. They need it spammed here, otherwise it's gonna be a disastrous race for them again. And it
Yeah,
looks
and
like nothing's gonna happen. Murr gets
oh,
hit. Frozen is on the wide wall. What? And
we're,
somehow South get an okay race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what just happened there, but, uh, definitely bailed out. I mean, that was supposed to be a top 2, 4, 5 for North, and I think it was a top 2, 5, 7 instead, uh, which is a big point swing. Just mayhem on the line there, honestly. I wasn't even really able to see. It all happened so quick. I was looking at Ken trimming up, and then, 2 of North are just dead on the line. So, yeah, it's a
Three,
top
four,
2, 5,
six, eight.
7.
Yeah, I mean, that's so good for South. That looked chalked. Like Brody Fresher guaranteed top two. Can you even get third there? They get 3-4 out of it somehow. And again, it's like I just some of the plays you see Frozen do is like I'm sure that wasn't really his fault. Which it's kind of hard to say. You hit the wide wall in Peach Gardens. It probably is your fault. I know there were greens bouncing back, but like I don't think any other player is capable of doing what Frozen does, and that's another example of it on the negative side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you get over there, to be honest. So pretty impressive from Frozen there. But if you're South, you're pretty happy with that race, considering you got your top three shocked after the first set, and they're only down 11, and that was looking much worse. They should be down another 10 points if
Yeah,
that ending is just plays out normally. To be honest, like I would say that was an obscure ending for North. I would
I would.
imagine
Yeah,
99 out of 100 times that probably isn't how that race ends for them.
yeah. I would say though, like in top level, that sort of shock should never happen. Where the other two just uncontested dodges and everyone's past set on your team. Like I feel like if Macy's playing in this match, she's hard sitting eighth. I don't know if Gizbro was doing that race. You'd expect maybe he's not as familiar with that position or knowing to do that. So giving them a free top two dodge in D1, you really rarely see that.
Yeah, and it does pick North's track here. So South are going to try and shroom up. Fresh has a red though, so Quinn's probably going to get redded out here from second place. Fresh is just going to slow down and red him out. Um, Ken is their highest spot, but it's still top two. It's going to be hard to catch Brody here.
I think North have a huge advantage on this track. Quinn, I feel like is not a player known for his mechanics. Gizbro's like the mechanical god on this team, but Havo and Quinn are definitely players who rely on other skills other than their driving. So seeing Brody in first, like I would expect him even against Ken to just keep breaking away, especially with back spam. Like they're gonna need a
Yeah.
power of blue to get him out. I don't think there's any other way.
If you look on the mini map right now, this is like the fifth pack split we've seen.
Yeah,
I think everybody, the whole room got bombed, and Ken getting fib redded. So it's actually a North top two, and Frozen is
with
holding the blue. So South pretty much need to get shock here on a sitting track. You
they
know they're
need
going to be
shock,
risking
they
those
need
boxes.
pow. Like they need a pow in seventh, honestly, because you need to get the blue out of Frozen. And even a pow, like if you're gonna get a pow now, you're gonna go for second, because Brody's already won the race. 1 minute 15 seconds into DK Mountain without a shock, he's already won. But oh no,
Yeah,
they're gonna go for him. They're gonna go for him in first. He lives very
I
comfortably.
think
I don't even
I
know.
think that was more so a target power on
Yeah,
Murrah.
I guess yeah. They didn't do it to the point where he could actually fall off though. They just slowed him down a little bit, and it's not gonna be enough. If we do look at our other POV, Frozen no longer has the blue, so that's part one of trying to get back into this race. But yeah, I think we just lost all the progress we were making with that TC pass. Havo's out of this race. Again, it's gonna be another salvage situation here. if
Yeah,
South are gonna get anything out of this.
I mean, at this point, like, it might just be worth going for Fresh in
Kaizo has it
4th
too.
and just
Kaizo
playing
has the
damage
shock.
control. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. And that might be all the times loss you need to lose third here.
yeah,
Maybe
I
we
mean,
see a respawn shock at the end with the bridge. I'm not sure. They might not even have to do that. Nice back
ba
red though. That might
very
save
good
him.
back red. Very, very good back red. They're not catching top 2 no matter what here, so they're just trying to keep, the other North players at bay.
Here
Frozen
comes
dodging up in
Frozen.
a star, though,
It's a
keeping a blooper.
blooper. He can win this. Eddie's not going to.
Yeah,
That was close
and
though. Like Frozen almost loses that. I feel like I'm sure on Frozen screen he was actually hopping like to make sure he doesn't get trailed. But Ken almost he could have got him off the track there and saved his team's race. But I think that one from the beginning just didn't look good. That's how DK Mountain can sometimes go if you don't get those lucky Shroom 4 or Shroom 5. Quinn was the only one up there. He doesn't have a box, right? So he's out of there immediately, and Brody wins that race probably within 40 seconds.
I would even argue less. I mean, even just getting out of the can in lap 1, it was
Yeah,
pretty much
honestly.
it was pretty much confirmed. Having Mura and Brody in top 2 on that track is pretty much all you can ask for if you're North. I think that's probably their strongest track, to be completely honest. I think Brody and Mura are just too quick on that one, and especially, if you're pulling Shock or Blue, like, how are you gonna catch up? Like, they only really had a POW, um, and they went for Mura, but Mura's a daisy, so he was able to handle it quite well.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, if it's any consolation, Fresh did get 8th, so it's not a top 4, it's a top 3 8, um, which could matter. I mean, the match is still close enough. It's still about a 1-point race, or sorry, a 1 race war. Um, but I think South need a big race here. You know, they need this RMC pick to
Yeah.
spice things up. They need to get back
W-
in there.
One of the interesting things about DK Mountain, just because of how the track is designed, when you get to that set after Cannon, you're usually like the timer will be around 15, 16 seconds. And I'm pretty sure PAL's gonna get pulled after 20 seconds, which is why like it's such a strong track for first, because you're practically never gonna get a PAL for that first turn. We do see a disconnection here, so I think they're actually gonna play it out. There's no one in that second spot, so I think it's Murrah who's DC'd. This is
Yeah,
a
I think you're
huge,
right.
it's a huge opportunity for South. No, Murrah DC's on his track. He might have got doxed. Like, I mean, a sixth player has just joined for Team South. That gives them a chance in this race and maybe a huge turning point in this war.
Yeah, massive green from Ken. It's just Brody up there right now. It's a 1-3-4. Brody's gonna block the cut. Um, yeah, and like Zesti said, they have no Murrah, and Murrah. I mean, like Zesti said again, this is Murrah's track, right? You know, Murrah's gonna be the one taking that glitch. He's gonna be the one getting up there, and he's not gonna be able to do that. But it looks like North are still top 2, fresh goldening up there. So South are gonna have to chain for either a blue, pal, shock, and make that play. But Nanas get thrown up, aren't able to hit anybody.
I couldn't, I couldn't see any of the baggers, but both the baggers are going back another lap. So no shock to TS or do anything this lap. It looks like I think that was Sam on the rear view. So is it Kaizo and gone ninth? If it is, and look at the position South are in, it feels like they kind of need a shock here, and they're not going to get it most likely. A TC could really help change things though in this race. Havel has to avoid this. Oh wow, that's actually a really good scenario. But they're gonna lose ninth, but I think you're gonna take it if you're North. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, if South do pull a shock here, things change drastically. So I don't know if that TC. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe Sam makes. No, he doesn't make the strat. But if you pull shock, that TC pass, I don't think it's gonna be worth it from Frozen. He wasn't trying to do it, obviously, but it might cost his team the race.
Yeah, I mean, considering Frozen's in the back anyways, South is in 10th. If they have it, you would imagine they would
They'd
call it right
have to.
here.
Yeah, he doesn't
But
have it, and he has to go back even more. Like he can't do it. He has to turn around and go for the shock in ninth here, and Kaizo knows that. I feel like Kaizo knows that he. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure Sam's the one who's going forward,
Sem is, yeah. Kaizo's still going backwards. And
which
it looks
maybe
like
is a
it's still a North
misplay.
top 2.
Yeah, there's the shock, and it's
It's a
what?
South shock, right?
Yeah,
That's a
no, no, that's Frozen getting TS, so it has to be South.
yeah.
Kaizo didn't even touch the box in time, so it looks like they're just gonna get 3, 4, 5 out of this. Yeah, they can't do enough. I think they
It's
pulled it too late.
it's not horrible, but on BCWE with no Mura, you're kind of hoping for a little bit more, to be honest. Um, but Ken's Funky Kong's glitching out. Uh, um, yeah, I mean, it looks like we're gonna have a room reset here, getting Mura back into the lobby. A little unfortunate Mura's DC'd there, but North
Yeah, that's
doing
a
a good
really
job of holding
unfortunate
that.
DC.
Yeah,
Because
100%. But
in most scenarios, when you DC, you're able to call reset. He DC'd as the race started, so they had no choice but to play it out. They couldn't just sit there. So obviously smart on North knowing that you can't reset in that situation. I feel like we've seen situations where teams call reset and they just sit there assuming it's gonna happen, but then you look back at the footage and they call the reset too late and they just give up a top four, maybe even a top five.
yeah, totally. I mean, I guess uh maybe on South's end, like, even though you got a slightly losing race, I think that was a minus 5 or -3 there, or, yeah, definitely -5. You're gonna take that because playing that track with Murray in the room could end up astronomically worse, you know? Like, he's almost a guaranteed first place, and
Yeah,
North got top 2 without him, so that could have been a top 3. So, um, maybe they're just happy to get that track out of the way, but, um, they're kind of running out of time, I would argue.
I
Like,
know,
there's
yeah,
only
that's the problem. Like you would absolutely take that if that was race one, and I feel like we've said that for both teams. Like these are races that you would live with because you're in unfavorable position and you're still winning or losing races by very little. But South have to catch up now. South actually won the. I know this is a 12 race format, but mostly, I mean, for the longest time, Mario Kart Wii's been played in 4 race intervals, and they actually won the first 4 race interval. They're up two, and after the second race interval, they're down 30. So maybe they're losing steam. They just don't have enough to get to the finish line here, or just North are just they're turning up, which is what I was expecting from the get go. But the South have given us a good match. North have given us some good moments too, of course. Uh, I'm
yeah.
wondering, what do you think it's gonna take for South to get back in this?
I think so. North are going to be starting top 2 in this next race. They're going to be
Mm-hmm.
claiming hosting spots. I think South either need a track pick or they need um like a very good beginning to a race and just hold on to those top spots. Like we saw it on Delfino Square with Mura. North are top 3 and he's in fourth. Just stop making the whole room. Like I think South needs something like that just to build momentum. And I think at this point in the war, they were up after 4 races and now they're down by about 30, a little bit more than 30, 34 points, um, or 35 points. Um, and they need that winning race just to give them a little boost. You know what I mean? Like they kind of need that little motivational boost at this point, I think, because I think they've lost the last about 5 races at this point. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Like, I think I always look for turning points, and I know this game's a lot of 50-50 calls, but one of them that's strictly 50-50 is the track picks on each race, and their top three, they had a Yoshi Falls track pick lined up, and they get Delfino Square, and what happens? They lose that race by probably 15 or so, getting two in bottom three. If they get Yoshi Falls there, this score could look very different. So, unfortunate for them that they weren't able to get their pick, but on the flip side, they got the next pick. They got Peach Gardens with Shock, or I can't remember. I
it
don't
was
know
a
if they
North shock
no, it was a
on
North
Gardens.
Shock, but yeah, um, North were able to make use of the reset pick, but South were not. So you can't really
Yeah,
complain.
I mean North got a reset pick and South got the shock, and North won the race pretty handily.
Yeah,
Um, and then South got or North got the track pick and South got the shock, and North still won the race. So
yeah, that's the difference between these two teams right now.
yeah, just maybe able to find those dodges a little bit more easily than South is. You know, maybe they're getting those eighth place boxes, like you said. Like maybe if they had Macy or like Casper, maybe they would make that play to sit in eighth. You know, so the other team can't get those eighth place dodges. Um, but or maybe just luck of the draw too, right? Like maybe they didn't get what they needed when they needed it,
Yeah,
and it's kind of showing on the scoreboard right now. But hopefully, US South can get a winning race here, make it a little bit closer. Something to note is the score is larger than 31 right now. So if it does come down to a last race, uh, they would need more than a top 4-9. They would need more than a perfect race, almost forcing them to all run. So they kind of need a winning race now just to get that back to like a one race war. Um, but the
yeah.
room is filling up nicely here. Just missing Kaizo.
These
What track do
resets
you think they're gonna
are
pick?
let's see. So we got 3, 4, 5. I'm not like I'm trying to think of what tracks are left because a lot of the good reset tracks are gone. Grumble is still there, so if you want to take a chance on Grumble
Hmm.
with in 3, 4, 5, you're assuming Brody's gonna stop in second. You're gonna have to go in 2, 3, and if you don't get shrooms, then you're assuming North are gonna win the shroom battle. And honestly, that the Grumble Volcano does come down to the shroom battle up on a lot of times. So you always want to make sure you have at least 2 shroomers. So I think I would go Grumble Volcano.
Yeah, I think I would pick the same track. Maybe like we could see like a KC here or like a maybe like a wild MG pick.
Yeah.
But I feel like Grumble is probably the most standard pick here. Um,
KC is a good pick because Sam, I mean, it is the Sam strat, right? So if he's still good at it, that's an advantage that no other team in this World Cup is really gonna have. Like Sam's probably the best at it, I'm assuming. At least compared to Kaizo. If he gets shrooms to do, there's a glitch on Koopa Cake for those who are unaware where you can clip off some rock and you can get permanently 10th. And if Sam's able to do that, that's hopefully a free shock, maybe a free 2 shocks for his team. But they're gonna go with RMC, so I feel like that's more like a Havo Quinn oriented track pick. Like I don't know if any of their respective GSE teams even pick this other than maybe KG.
like MA or something. um,
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, Mario Circuit does come out. It gives me more of like gamble vibes
yeah, for
than
sure.
anything. They're kind of I feel like they're putting all their chips on their bagger to get the shock hero. They have that faith in Sam.
It's
And we
such
were
a
talking
hard
before the
track to
match.
outplay from a
For
bagger's
sure.
perspective.
For sure. Yeah. It's almost just like who gets Bill and who doesn't get Bill going
Yeah,
backwards and who can get that 10th place. Ken burning out, but honestly, it
might
doesn't
be a
even
good thing.
matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets a free box 8. If he gets Bill here, oh, he doesn't. Bill could have changed everything for his team. Mura's the first cut taker on the map. It looks like he could have more. It's not a golden, but he may have shroomed 2 or maybe even 3 times to get as far as he did. Maybe he got wheelie bump too. Doesn't it wouldn't be a pen, and look at that. It's just frozen again. 2 hits in 2 seconds from him. You got
Yeah.
to do better if you're south there.
Does hit Brody as well, but I would definitely take that trade. Get
And look
yourself
at
a top 2
Kaizo.
break.
Kaizo's winning the back battle. Sam's lost Bill. Bomb's not even hitting either. Shroom second. Shroom first. And
Yeah.
it's looking over quite early in this race. If Kaizo pulls shock, there is a blue, a little bit of salvation. There is Bill, which is at this point not a good thing. Like it's so, what is he gonna do with it? He can't. He's never gonna make it the cut if his team doesn't have shock. He
Yeah.
can't
I think
Bill
Kaizo
now.
already has it. Like,
Yeah, he has to go for that play. Like he has to hit Kaizo and he misses, and now
yeah.
he's gonna lose this race. This is not gonna drop him. Oh, it is. So maybe a perfectly timed Bill from him to give him a chance, and he gets rewarded with a TC.
Yeah. And I think it's basically unwinnable for South at this
He
point.
has
You
to
have top
pass it.
3 and a
He has
TC.
to have a chance.
Yeah, and
He doesn't.
he's out of the
I mean,
race.
the
It's
war will. It probably will not be It definitely will not be mathematically over. So how can they? Can they get anything out of this race? We already know shock could be in play too from North. Ken will get shocked into boxes. Doesn't really matter. Brody's gonna lose because he gets PAL, but
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, not as bad as it could have been, I guess. I think it's a top 2 5-8 or top 2 I think it's top 2 4-8.
yeah,
But definitely not what you want to see. Not what you were expecting. I mean, Mura just shrooming up early, having a shroom at first, taking cut, taking that blue for Frozen, and he was so far ahead that I think he just finished second anyways, even after
yeah.
getting blued. So
I mean, you said it perfectly at the beginning. South were playing for a gamble, and they lost the gamble on every front. Mura got triple shrooms lap 1. Sam got Bill. That's really, and Frozen got Shroom second when he needed it the most. So everything went right for North. But at the same time, if you're picking a track like this, you kind of have to accept that those sort of races are going to happen.
yeah, I mean, you can't be too upset when you lose the gamble when you know you're the one picking it, right? It's not like you were forced to play that
Yeah,
one. Um, And that's why Zesti and I recommended or mentioned Grumble Volcano because it's a little more in your in your hands, I would argue,
yeah.
than like something like Mario Circuit or GCN MC.
And I mean, they're
Um,
they're they're fully into the gamble now. Like they have no choice. They're down more than 40. They have to win this race to have a feasible chance. They have to win this race to stay in it for the last race. the most you can get in a race is plus 41 with a top 5, I believe. So they're gonna need at least plus 3. But like Zilla was mentioning earlier, if you want to have your bagger still back, you need to get this to at least minus 31. So 31 point deficit for South. So they need a plus 13 race here to ensure that they can play the last race somewhat normally. Because Sam would have to get 9th in that situation to get that plus 31 alongside a top 4. So, I mean, when we get to these permutations and combinations, it tells you how much trouble South are in, and they don't get their track pick either. So, Maple Tree what it is.
Yeah, and it's hard to catch up on this one early on. I mean, if you're South, like if you get Goldens, like maybe you opt to Golden early, even though normally the strat is to hold it to the end of the lap. But I guess if you are South, you do want Jizbro in that second place. We did mention how Jizbro is probably their best player. And Frozen's not able to back anybody out, but it looks like he's trying to. Good green attempt from Jizbro. And the bagger battle is tied. Frozen actually schlegging Jizbro off the track there.
Yeah, that's a tilter, because Gizbro already in this war is on very few points, and he's just trying anything to get some mojo back into it, and that's just a GG moment from him. He probably dropped his controller, just a large sigh, and I mean, from bad to worse from Team South. I think they ran out of gas here. It's a top 3, pretty much gone. If we see a shock, like may as well.
Top 4 now.
Havo's Wii might be halfway off already. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you're gonna need a miracle to break up this top 4 at this point. They could maybe take out Mura with these reds, but I don't think it matters. Like, like
Yeah.
how are you gonna catch up? It looks like US South actually did get a bill. One of the runners pulling bill. Maybe Ken can make like an over the wall
He has
bomb
to
snipe or
like,
something.
yeah, he has to go for this. Oh no, he's not. I thought he was gonna throw it over the wall on the right side. You can do that, and it lands to this part where they're approaching right now. But he can't even lose that much time. Like if he wants to try and win this race, he can't sacrifice his race to do that. But in doing
Yeah.
so, like it looks chalked. Another
And
thing on Maple Treeway is it's a sitting track at this point, so
yeah, I was just
no
gonna say
SAM
that. Like,
advantage.
there's no way to get the shock if they're not giving you those 10th place boxes, unless you choose it to 9th. Still a top 3 break, and
Oh my
Ken
god,
just
he's losing it.
yeah,
He's
Ken,
losing it.
it's that point in the war.
Yeah, and they
But
gave it a good fight.
yeah, I was gonna mention, like, at this level in the game, like, you can't even drive fast enough to catch these players, like, in the front. Like, you're not gonna catch Frozen, Brody, Fresh by just driving well. Like, you need
Yeah.
more than, you need a POW, you need a blue, you need a shock. Maybe Mura's holding on to something. He's not really using anything. We could see a late shock, or maybe a golden up from Mura here.
Yeah, at this point they're gonna go for plus minus because there's nothing else to play for, and there it is. This could be a potential top. No, Hoffel actually is up there, but yeah, I mean that's all she wrote here. It was a valiant attempt from South. I mean we should probably dive deeper into why they lost that race so badly, because I mean it wasn't, they weren't in the worst spots to start that race. Gisbro was up there. I guess it's that Nana off the track that really killed it, and then Ken Golden off the track too. So they lost that
Yeah,
race within lap 1, which is always a horrible thing. I feel like at the D1 level, like you never want to have that feeling where it's over after lap 1, and usually D1 players can keep themselves in the race long enough where at least a shock can get them out of the race. I don't even know if a shock was going to do it.
yeah. I mean, I would say like Jesper's almost forced to play really aggressive
He
there,
has
right?
to,
Like they're
yeah.
down. He has to get Frozen out, and Frozen just makes a really good play. And Nanas him onto the boost panel into an unrecoverable spot and just gets flown off the track. So early breakaway from them. And then Ken, their only saving grace. Uh, I'll call that a controller fail or something. I don't know what exactly that was. But definitely not what you want to see. And I mean, the race was already curtains from like the end of lap 1.
Yeah.
There's no way to catch up. And like Zesti said during the race, it's a sitting track. So even though Sam might be the favorable bagger here, he's not able to get those 10th place boxes because both baggers have to chain in 9th. And Kaizo's not going to be touching boxes when you're top 3. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess now we don't really have much to talk about. This last race will not matter in any regard. So I guess both we should talk about what US South do from here, because we're never gonna see this lineup again. If everyone's available, you're gonna see Macy into lineup. We're gonna see maybe Casper into lineup. Who is leaving this lineup from US South? to try and get them back into a good spot to make the playoff rounds of this tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. We did mention how Jizbert was probably one of their best players, but just not
He's
really the
he's having a
best
stinker.
performance today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on
yeah.
52 points after 10 races.
Yeah, I mean, the points don't always speak to how well you played as a person, as an individual in the match, but they do have some sort of resemblance. But I think I don't know. We mentioned before how they kind of could use they have a decent amount of roster depth. Like they could kind of use anybody. I would assume Casper and Macy are going to be in the remaining matches. Probably a Jizbro as well, even though he kind of had a shoddy performance today. And maybe like a Quinn or a Hava. I mean, all of these players are good. Ken having really high highs, but also pretty low lows, I would say. But some of those races were completely decided by Ken. Like DK Summit came down to completely Ken with the fib snipe and then outlining Mura on the last straight. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, right?
these sort of rosters are so tough to make decisions on who's gonna play. I think them more so than any other team in this tournament, because most teams you already know at least 3 out of the 4 players are gonna play. Like with US North, you pretty much knew Brody, Fresh, Frozen were gonna play every match, and then if Mura's available, Mura's gonna play, and that's exactly what we saw today. But with US South, like even if everyone's available, you don't have a concrete top 4 lineup because as we showed on the preview, the people who got them to the finals last or 2 years ago, none of them are on this roster other than Macy and Sam really. So
Yeah,
no bad cake. You got Tay was playing that match too, and Revive was in that lineup, and none of those guys are here.
yeah. I mean, not only are none of those people on the roster besides Macy, but Macy's not even in this lineup. So it's a
Exactly.
completely fresh lineup. Um, but I guess only time will tell what kind of lineups they pull out, but you would have to imagine they would make some sort of change. It wouldn't be the worst thing if they didn't, though, because US North were favored to win. They're the strongest team in the tournament, to be completely honest. So they're probably not feeling too bad about this loss, because I don't think they had came in it with like the highest hopes. You know, like they knew it was going to
Yeah.
be a tough battle. I mean, maybe they wish it went a little bit smoother, but I think it's more so just like work out the kinks. And like with time and substitutions and practice, like you'll get there. So, but either way, good job to both the teams today. Massive performance from North, winning the match quite handily and coming back. I mean, they were down like 20 points after race 4 or
Yeah.
something around there. So, yeah.
And I would say like this is not even US North at their best. We saw some pretty brain dead plays from Frozen, but like that's part of the Frozen special. He's gonna give you the best of both worlds. He's gonna give you those head scratching moments, and he's gonna give you moments of sheer brilliance. And we saw both of them today with his shot calls, with his just his IQ of how to disturb the other team in ways that other players are really just not able to do. At least to the level that Frozen does it, and he gets a nice score on top of just playing that kind of free safety role, just doing whatever he
Mhm.
can.
For sure. Yeah. I would say really high highs and really low lows from Frozen as well. It's kind of similar to Ken, except Frozen got 42 and Ken got 8. So that's the
Yeah,
difference right there, right? Uh, we'll have to see. I mean, I would say overall, Frozen definitely played well, though. Just a couple mistakes. I mean, no player is going to play perfectly, especially how I mentioned before the match even started. Like, he's got a little bit of rust on him. You know, he hasn't played
yeah, for sure.
for a little while now. So I'm sure as the tournament progresses and these teams use their lineups more frequently and get more practice in, like, they'll only get better with time. So,
Yeah,
um,
for sure. One thing I always say about Frozen, I think the sort of rosters that are, you know, I guess like in sports, you always say a roster's built around a certain player. Obviously, here we're just playing with our friends most of the time, but the type of players that he plays with, players like Jeff and Pix and Mura, like these players, if he makes a mistake, his teammates are so good to the point that he can make multiple mistakes in a race, and all it takes is one brilliant play to take his team's like top 3 into a top 4 because his teammates are so consistently up there and just making the right plays. So he can kind of do his own thing, and even if he messes up, his teammates aren't bad enough to the point that it's a bottom 4 situation. His teammates are just so good at not getting hit and doing the right things and playing on their own that Frozen can just do whatever he wants, and his
yeah,
brain dead plays aren't highlighted as much as they would be on a worse team.
for sure. I mean, I would argue Frozen's probably the worst player on their lineup, to be
Yeah,
honest. I would say All three of the other players are better than him. But those other players can do exactly what Frozen does too. I mean, we saw it on Delfino Square, Mura taking out the whole roster pretty
Yeah.
much of South. So they all can fill that role if they need. Um, but yeah, pretty massive win here from US North, winning by 84, almost a 100-point swing in 8 races. So uh, huge comeback from them. Good showing from South as well. Um, and I think anything else to say, Zesty, or
Yeah, I mean that's all I have to say. US North, I believe, are playing again later today. Hopefully, we're gonna cast that as well. But I think it's against who's it? Asia? I think it's Asia.
that's I believe. So
So they're playing their two hardest matches, I would say, like instantly. So you like format where you're maybe not as familiar with your teammates. It's not the case with North, but I always want to the freebie match, whatever the lowest seed is. You want to play against them, get the confidence up. But no, these guys are playing their hardest matches first, and they're doing extremely well. Probably because they've already played with each other so much in other competitions, so they don't really have that getting to know each other phase, right?
yeah, for sure. Um, I think that's pretty much all for this US North versus US South cast, though. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for having Zesty and I. I hope you enjoyed. We're gonna head out though, so stay tuned for Asia versus US North in 20 minutes.
Yeah, take care, guys.